All right, so today I want to talk to you about the sad reality with the industry that we all find ourselves affiliated with. Because most dog trainers, they don't make it past their second year in business. That's the truth. Now, I'm going to lay down 5 steps to help make sure that you don't fall into the same trap that countless other trainers ahead of you have already fallen into. Now, look, most trainers, I think we can agree, they start out full of passion, right? But then reality hits. You got inconsistent income, there's no clear business systems, and then you have this overwhelming feeling that you're drowning in a sea of competition. I think we all know what that feels like. Now, most trainers, who I'm talking about, aren't failing because of the skills that they have with dogs. They're failing because they don't know how to run a business, which are 2 entirely different skill sets. So it's easy to understand because shoot, most trainers didn't get into this to become some business expert. But the reality is, if you're trying to make a living on the income that you produce from your services, it's a business. It's not a charity. It's not a volunteer service. And every business has to produce revenue and hopefully profit for the owner. But imagine this. You just spent years perfecting your craft, helping dogs and their owners live better lives, only to find yourself in a situation where you're stressed, maybe you're broke. Shoot, maybe you're contemplating some now hiring sign at a local retail store. That's the harsh reality for most trainers who don't have the business skills that they need. And if you're not careful, it's going to become your reality too. And so what I want to do is break this down for you in a way that's easy to understand, because let's be real. You didn't get into this business to worry about paying rent or chasing clients who ghost you after the first session. But that's what happens when you rely solely on your training skills to succeed in this business. It takes more than that. I mean, think about it. What happens during the slow season when clients are sparse, hard to find, right? Or when you burn yourself out because you're working 7 days a week, trekking all over the county just to drum up some business, but your numbers still aren't adding up. You feel stuck, right? You feel frustrated. You feel like you're running on a hamster wheel and it's going freaking nowhere. You're too good at what you do to end up in a situation like that. But unless you change, that's exactly where you're headed. And let's not forget about the emotional toll that something like that takes on you. I mean, shit, every trainer has felt the sting of a bad review or a client who decides they're going to go try somebody else who's cheaper, right? Because they don't see the value. You start questioning yourself. Am I good enough? Should I lower my rates? Maybe I'm not even cut out for this. Now, I'll tell you something. Those thoughts don't just hurt your confidence. They kill your momentum and your growth. And the more you spiral into self-doubt, the harder it becomes for you to recover. So here's what separates the trainers who are out there thriving right now from the trainers who disappear and just vanish. And the first thing is, you need to treat your business like a business. Stop thinking of yourself as just a trainer. You're an entrepreneur. Start tracking your income. Start tracking your expenses. Start setting goals. Plan for growth. That means creating a budget, understanding your cash flow. That way you can forecast the future. Because if you don't know what your numbers are, you're flying blind, and that's a recipe for failure. No 2 ways about it. And once you've got that nailed down, the second thing that you need is to create a system for your leads. Because I'm just going to come right out and say it. Your website won't magically bring clients to your door. It's not going to happen. You need a lead generation system that works 24/7, whether that's, organic outreach on social media, whether that's a paid advertising campaign, whether that's partnerships with local vets and pet stores. I mean, think of it like a fishing net. The wider you cast it, the more likely you are to catch high quality leads. And without a system, you're relying on luck. Luck doesn't pay the bills, my friend. So the third thing, once you got those 2 nailed down, third thing you need is to learn how to master client retention, right? Because it's cheaper and it's easier to keep a client than it is to find a new one. And that means you need to start offering things like follow-up services, loyalty bonuses. You could even create a subscription type of program that will keep clients coming back to you, right? That stabilizes your income, gets your clients better results. I mean, here's an example. One way that you can boost consistency with your business income is by implementing a monthly membership. And that monthly membership can give your clients ongoing access to resources and support that you already know that they need. Because look, retention isn't just about keeping clients that you already have. It's about building a community and a reputation for yourself that keeps your business thriving. And then the fourth thing that you need to do is you need to be investing in yourself, because the trainers who make it past the second year mark, they're constantly learning. And I'm not just talking about training methodology here. They invest in things like business coaching. They attend business growth workshops. They surround themselves with people who push them to grow and to become somebody that they have not already become. Because the moment that you stop improving yourself is the moment that you start falling behind. Very difficult to recover from that. And remember, you're not just selling training. You're selling trust. You're selling expertise. And the more you invest in yourself, the more your clients are going to be likely to invest in you. And then the fifth thing that you need to do is you need to diversify your income streams. That means if you're depending solely on a single method of service delivery, it's risky. If you're primarily doing, say, one-to-ones, maybe think about adding group classes or online courses. Shit, you could even start your own line of branded merchandise, because diversifying your income ensures that when one revenue stream slows down, the other streams can pick up the slack. Makes a huge difference. I mean, here's an example. A rainy season might, reduce your outdoor training sessions. But if you have online courses, you can continue generating income regardless of whatever's going on outside with the weather. And I'm telling you this because I've worked with truly talented trainers who are literally on the brink of quitting because they didn't have the business systems that they needed. They hadn't sorted any of that out. I mean, shit, one trainer was barely making ends meet. She was months behind on her bills, about ready to lose freaking everything. And I want you to know something. After implementing just 2 of the strategies that I just laid out for you, one was building a lead generation funnel, the other was offering follow-up services, her income doubled over the course of 6 months. Now she's running a thriving training business. She's working fewer hours. She's finally living the lifestyle that she always wanted to live. And she has the freedom that she had always dreamed of, right? And since we're already on this topic, there was another trainer. I helped coach this trainer through a very difficult time in their life where he'd been struggling to retain clients. People were just falling off like crazy. He thought it was his training. He thought that was the issue, but the real problem was his lack of follow-up. And once he introduced a simple email sequence to stay connected with his clients after their initial sessions, his rebooking rate more than quadrupled. Look, guys, the solution wasn't complicated. It just required taking action to break through that bottleneck. And look, most trainers, they fail within the first 2 years, not because they're bad at training, but because they don't know how to run a business. But it doesn't have to be that way. And by treating your training services like an actual business, that means creating systems for leads, focusing on retention, and constantly improving, you can break free from that cycle. You can build something that is actually sustainable. So let's recap here. Understand that passion alone is never going to be enough. You need strategy. You need to focus on building systems that work for you so that growth continues behind the scenes, even when you're freaking sleeping. And you need to never stop investing in skills, both as a trainer and as a business owner. These aren't just abstract ideas. These are proven steps that have helped countless trainers turn their struggling businesses into thriving businesses. And so what I want you to understand is that you need not let your passion for training be the reason that you fail. Take control of your business. The solution is right in front of you. You just need to take the first step. Because remember, the trainers who succeed are not the ones who avoid failure. They're the ones who learn from it and they adapt. You have to ask yourself, which one are you going to be? And don't forget, greatness is your obligation. Success won't ever happen without your participation. This life isn't a warm-up. It's the only one you got. So take action this instant because today might be your only shot.